Shooting the breeze with Nadine and Janine, talking about what's going on. Just having fun as we tell you some things that happened the whole week long. And to mention a few things that you were not privy, but we to help you along. Shooting the breeze with Nadine and Janine. Hope that you come along. Hi, I'm Nadine Jamison, your host, and this is my friend Janine Bookwalter, your co-host.
Welcome to Shooting the Breeze with Nadine and Janine.
Yes. Well, our show lineup for today is what's going on in Harrisburg, what's in the news, topic for the day, and pearls of wisdom, and of course, stinker of the week. So, Janine, how was your day today, girl? You're a teacher. How was your day today with your students?
Oh, let me tell you, kindergartners wear you out. It's not that they're bad, but they're just busy.
Yeah.
I'm done. In 2 seconds, you give them a paper. I'm done. Well, maybe you're not done. You need to look at the line and write the letter U. They're learning their letters.
Okay.
And then somebody else has to go to the bathroom, and somebody doesn't know how to use their scissors, and you are responsible for a group of children at the table that you're working and instructing as a group. So it gets quite busy, and you just think, oh, just give me a moment to breathe. But people don't realize what's involved. A lot of people, the older teachers think, oh, kindergarten's just
easy. Little
easy.
kids, yeah.
And that's not the case at all. And to be honest with you, I didn't understand that because I taught the older kids. But your day is full.
It's full.
Yes. And I get up early in the morning and go in to prepare. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning to get there early. To get
there.
So I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Teaching's no joke.
Yeah.
There's a lot involved with it.
I believe it. I believe it.
And how was your day?
Well, it was fine. Of course, you had the school in daytime, and Bill and I program, the after school program.
Right.
You know, we have our kids come after school. So, but it's not like they come right in and jump in and start playing. I mean, they're allowed to do that, but when the kids come in, we ask, make sure they do their homework. We have helpers for them to do their homework. And, well, let me backtrack a little bit. When they first come in, we have some for them to eat. So they eat first. After they eat, then we'll make sure they do their homework. For the ones who say, oh, we don't have any homework today, my teacher didn't give me no homework. But we said, go get a book. Then go get a book. We're not going to play yet. And when you read some of the book, just write down, what you read. Read 2 pages or 3. And after that, you write down what you read. And after that, then you will go, you'll play, So that's what we do with that school program. We took them outside. They wanted to go outside. So, God, they wanted to go outside. It was cold out there, girl.
It is starting temperatures are starting to drop.
Yeah. But, so, yeah. So our shows today our lineup for the show today is, of course, we already mentioned that. So,
The topic of the day?
what's going on in the news? What's the news
I
about?
will not. I have 2 different things to talk about, so I
news?
promise you
Okay.
next week I won't talk about it at all, even if they're monumental things that happen. But Mr. Brian Laundrie, according to Gabriella Darling, was a Casanova, I guess. And so many stories are derived from things after the fact.
Yes.
You ever go to somebody's funeral?
Okay.
Before the funeral, they're a dog, a D-A-W-G, dog. And afterwards, they're this wonderful person with the sun rises and sets on. I was at somebody's funeral one time, and I tapped my friend on the leg, and I said, I think we're at the wrong funeral. Because the person that they were describing was not the actual person.
Yeah.
But here we go. Here are some interesting, I don't know, facts or opinions or a little
Yeah.
bit of both. Brian Laundrie's family is not happy with the girl that is touting herself as his ex-girlfriend. She is called an imposter by the Laundrie clan. Gabriella Darling began popping up on social media last month, claiming she was Brian's most recent ex before Gabby Petito. She called him narcissistic and controlling. After his remains were discovered on October 20th, she played his grief-stricken former lover. Brian's parents, Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, do not know this woman.
They don't know the woman?
They're not claiming to know her anyway.
I want to say something about that. Well, they say they don't know her, right? But can we really believe them? Because they didn't know where his son was either. When they was asking, they didn't know anything about it, but then they led him right to where he was. I don't know.
Bing! Neither does Cassie, who's his sister, who has living about the online presence and the stories that are going on about this woman. She is angry about the stories the alleged imposter is spinning. Now listen to what she says. Cassie refers to her as Brian's fake ex-girlfriend. April Venezuela, a friend of the family, interviewed Gabriella, and she said Gabriella ghosted her after confronting the female. Cassie has claimed she never met her. Now, wouldn't you think that the sister
You would
would
think.
have met her if she would?
You would think, sure.
It's so crazy. April, the friend, said she never called me. She messaged and told me that her family attorney told her not to talk
Not to speak.
to anyone.
Right.
Now listen to this. April said, I thought she needed to be left alone, and I stood up for her right to grieve privately. But from reading what Cassie was saying, it was upsetting Cassie and the entire family, the Laundrie family. She was making videos to portray that she and Brian were closer than they were. She was trying to gain sympathy from the outsiders. After Brian was confirmed dead, Gabriella posted a lengthy message on social media. Gabriella referred to him as her eternal flame. She said that losing him is one of the hardest things that she'd ever done. So, I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
And really, I don't care.
I don't care, right?
But I thought it was an interesting tidbit to at least
because I
get a
didn't hear
laugh
about that
out.
one.
Not that I'm laughing about the situation.
No, of course
I'm
not. Yeah.
So,
Well, we
And
were saying facts, right?
I know.
You always
Facts
say
or opinions. Remember, like the show said the other day,
Yeah.
you have to weigh it out. But I think it would be safe to say that the family is not recognized her, and it's probably somebody that's just trying to make money or has a moment of fame, claim to fame. At least she got her name in the news. I could think of a better way to do that.
Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I don't know.
I know. Some things you can't determine.
Yes.
You try to weigh them out and
true.
balance them out,
You can't.
and you
You don't
you
know.
still don't
Not
really know. So then
true.
it's best to. I'm just
Maybe he was
reporting
really
what I
keeping
know.
on down low or something. I don't know.
I
But it seems to me if she was a girlfriend before this other girl, I mean, the family would know something about it. The sister, at least. I want you to meet my sister, my mom, my dad. I don't know.
Who gives a rip? All right, and moving right along.
Yeah. On the other side of the news.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's go back to what's happening in Harrisburg because we went to our news. That's okay. Let me tell you what's going on in Harrisburg first, people.
Ooh.
Okay, and then I give you my news. Okay. Well, actually, what's happening in Hershey?
There you go.
All right. So what's going on in Hershey is this: the Hershey Bear versus the Providence Bruins, and that's on November the 6th at 7 p.m. The lowest price tickets are online. It's online discounts for $12. And then you have Ron White at the Hershey Theater, and this is also November the 6th and that's at 8 p.m. and the tickets start at $39.50. And then you have Lauren Daigle. She's at the Giant Center, and this is on November the 12th. And tickets are starting at $29.50. And the show starts at 7:30 p.m. So if you're interested in what you heard, go check it out. You might like it.
Lauren Daigle is a Christian performer.
Oh, you know about this person?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
really?
and she has a strong walk with the Lord.
Okay.
She does a lot of praise and worship music.
All
And
right.
really is uplifting with the songs that she
Yeah,
sings.
that she sings.
She
Yeah.
really is an encourager.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I just learned something. I didn't know you know Lauren.
I listen
Daigle.
to her a lot.
Wonderful. See, people, I just learned something. All right, there you go. And so, on my side of the news, now this was going on for some time now, but Jeremy Gabriel, he's 24 years old right now, but this incident happened when he was 13, and they've been out of court, him and his parents. Okay, he was born with head deformities, and he gained fame as a singer in 2006. And his physical appearance was mocked by this comedian named Mike Ward. And the parents went to court over it and everything like that because Gabriel, like I said, was 13 at the time, and said that the mocking made him want to commit suicide. Now, he was young, 13 years old at the time, and made him want to commit suicide. And he said he was always mocked in school. You know, the kids mocked him in school because of the way he was looking and everything like that. And he said to be mocked by an adult, which this man was 40 years old at the time. He's a comedian. A comedian. It made him feel worse. And mind you, now, the comedian told the boy, "You should just die." Now,
That's horrific.
is that seriously? Why would you say something like that to a 13-year-old boy who has deformities? You know, and so like I said, they were in and out of court with this thing, and the court decided that this comedian did no wrong, and so now his parents they're trying to sue the courts now. And the court said that what Jeremy said was mean and everything, but how exactly did they put it? They said Jeremy wasn't targeted because of his disability, but because of his fame. Does that make any sense? He wasn't targeted for his disability, but because of his fame. So because he has some fame as a singer, it's okay for you to make fun of his deformities? Is that what they're saying here? Doesn't sound right to me, you know. And it said, so what the comedian said was very nasty, but don't think that Jeremy should be treated as subhuman.
No,
You know.
absolutely not.
Yeah. And see, this is what I say about comedians. They always say, you know, we're comedians and everybody is fair game. And this is what I say. Why can't you just, you're a comedian, right? Do you have to pick on the way people look? And so, they could really go in on they really go in on stuff like that. How you look, if something's wrong with you, they'll go in on that. If
They
somebody
capitalize
died,
on
they'll
people's
make a joke
negatives.
about that. What they fail to realize is that The reason why they have all this money is because people go to see them. They don't go to see them, and even when they're in the audience, they'll pick people out in the audience and say something about that. They'll say a woman, he'll say something about her being fat or a lot of stuff.
But see, to me, that's not funny. And
It's not
and
funny.
I think the person that laughs at that kind of stuff is not
Seriously,
too wise, really.
And I'm saying these people pay to come see these comedians, and here you are picking people out in the audience, making them feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
May I piggyback off that with this? This
Sure.
is under the same thing.
Sure.
It's the other thing about Brian Laundrie. He pops up in sick Halloween displays featuring skeletons and fake graves as the public awaits the fugitive's cause of death. Now, what is so funny about that, about mocking that? We've got two sets of parents who have
Right, you
lost
have to look
their
at their parents,
They're
yes.
their babies,
Yes.
their
They
children.
lost their children, yeah.
When there's a tragedy, it always seems like someone is trolling the internet to see what the situation is to mock it. And comedians do that too. This goes hand in hand,
Listen,
even
yep.
though it's not the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This year's Halloween came right after the unfolding of one of the biggest true crime stories in recent history. This gave the trolls a timely reason to do what they do best, and that's making fun of people.
Yeah.
Halloween displays featuring skeletons and graves also display disrespect toward friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I think comedy does too.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
pulls out the negatives of people a lot of
It
times.
does.
And we always have,
Yeah.
everybody has negatives. They've got
Sure.
positives, but they've
Sure.
got
And
negatives too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Social media displayed fake bones lying in a makeshift casket with signs that read, "Breaking news, we found Brian Laundrie." Now, so a comedian could take that and
Run away with it. Yep.
run with it.
Yeah.
So I think if people are mocking other people, it's not funny, and I don't choose to be a part
Yeah.
of watching that.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's true. He did what he did, and what he did was very heinous. What this guy did, but you can't blame the parents for what their son did. Although I believe that they knew who he was, but that besides the fact,
He's a grown man. I mean, he had his own choices.
and he's a grown man, and you can't blame the parents for what
No.
the son did. Yeah.
But I
And
don't
so
think
you had
it's
two-
right to be
Two grieving
mocking the
parents, you know what I'm
situation.
saying? So
Right.
you can't say, I don't feel sorry for that woman, I don't feel sorry for that parent because
Yeah.
her son, you can't do that,
Yeah.
because she didn't make him do what he did.
You were talking about the young man, though, being
Deformed?
deformed
Yeah.
and then mocking. This young couple was mentally ill. They
They
said,
had some issues, they really did.
yes, and why would we make fun of that?
They had some
If
issues, they really
anything,
did,
You know, they needed help, and it's something that they didn't get
Mhm.
in time.
Yeah.
So I just think it's important. I guess the message that we're both trying to say with the different stories is you haven't walked in that person's shoes, and don't make fun of them. If
Yeah.
anything, you want to lift them up. And,
That's true. If you
know,
can't do that, then don't say anything
then
at
just
all.
be quiet. Don't say anything
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say about comedians is that I honestly believe that they lost all originality. You're not original when you're talking about somebody, pointing somebody out. It's nothing original about that. See, that's the hard part. You have to stay original. You can talk about anybody. That's not being original. No, So I think a lot of times that they try to make things easier on yourself because you got to really sit down and you have to really sit down and say, okay, what am I going to write about now? What kind of joke am I going to write? And pointing people out and making lewd remarks or mean remarks about them. That's not being original. That's not no,
and
not
it's
at all.
hurting them.
Not
it's
at
hurting
all.
their spirit.
You know.
And their soul, and some aren't strong enough, especially with the younger generation,
Yeah.
with the teenagers, comments about them are very, very
Yeah.
important. And if you crush their spirit, I mean, people have committed suicide.
Of course they have.
A lot of
Yeah.
a lot of people
Yeah.
have, really.
It's just sad, you know. And
Do you know what I think too? If somebody finds out that some particular person made fun of them, they need to be charged for doing. If the person dies, they need to be charged for the bullying. Somebody has to be made accountable along the way.
you hear about
and
this
just
stuff all
not
the time. The
spew
kids
anything.
be on Facebook and stuff like that, and they do all kinds of things and make people just hurt themselves because
TikTok has all kinds of
all
things
kinds of
on
stuff
it.
on there. All kinds of stuff on there. So Janine, what do what's your topic for today?
Well, we just did it
That
because
was we went ahead of the
yeah,
news,
we
right?
went
Okay.
ahead.
So well, you could give us our pearl of wisdom. We
the
always love
pearls
the pearl
of
of
wisdom.
wisdom.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
I got a little bit out of order today, so
That's
I'll
okay, but we'll still
try.
get
We
it.
got the message.
We'll
delivered.
still get it.
Words of wisdom. Change happens in an instant. It happens in the moment you decide to change. Motivation is derived from the verb motivate, which means to move. It is the desire that compels you to take action. It is so deeply intertwined with what you believe to be true and right in life that moves you from a simple desire to a moment of decision. Ask yourself, what do I believe? What role does faith play in my life? What is my purpose in life? And I probably wrote that because I'm in a time of change and making some decisions and pruning of different things.
Okay.
And if it's something that is not helping me to grow or is just a time filler, then I need to make some changes with that. But it's only going to be me that makes those changes. So making some decisions, and you just self-evaluate and find out where you're going and what you're doing. And I'm involved in something. I don't want to say the whole thing, but I have to run out to it and get it done. And it just, I'm not sure that it's good anymore. So I'm just in the midst of making change, but I know I'm the only one that can make that change, you know.
So just you see, you don't know if it's good anymore. So that means you're gonna put it
just
aside. And
put it aside and get more involved
Get
in
more
something
involved
that
in
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you facing any decisions right now that in your life?
Not right now. I just. Not right now, but I guess some will come up.
No, but you know what? This was a decision. This was a decision to start this show. How did you?
Oh, you meant,
Yeah,
you
well,
meant-
I asked you for now,
look,
but just
look. Yeah, of course. Like you said, you make decisions that you think is going to be helpful and get yourself into doing something different.
different, yeah.
And something that you're going to enjoy. And
So, what
hopefully
was the
everybody's-
process in deciding to
Okay,
start this show?
yeah.
How did you know?
Well, after we did Nadine's Arts House with the plays and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which we really loved because it ran for a long time. We did it for how many years, Bill? 5, almost 6 years.
A long time.
5, almost 6 years. Yeah, it was wonderful. And then we had stopped doing it for a little while because something was going on at the church. I forgot what it was. And then came the time where the transitions of moving out of the church and stuff took more time away from all that. So we were away for about a year, maybe, or something like that, right? And so I said, okay, I love doing Nadine's Art House. It's true with the plays and stuff like that. I said, but I think I want to do something different, And so I sat down and I thought about it. I said, okay, what do I want to do? What's the format? What do I want to do? How do I want to put together? So I said, okay, um, it won't be too much work. Because there's a lot of work when you gotta do something. And we enjoyed it though. It was a lot of work, but we enjoyed it, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of writing and checking and all this kind of stuff like that. But but we still loved it. We did it for a long time, of course we did. But I said, okay, I want to do something different. So I said, okay, how about I said, I know, okay. Maybe do a little segment on what's going on in around the city.
I think that's informative.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I said, okay, what else? I said, okay, I'll do maybe 4 or 5 different things. What else? Okay, what's going on in the city? What else do I want to do? Okay, I know. Not a lot of people listen to the news. Some people might want to see news and miss out on it.
Right.
So I said, okay, let's do a little segment on some news. I said, okay, now what else? I said, that's 2 out of it. What else do I want to do? Let me see. I know. How about if I do a topic on whatever? There's always something happening in people's lives. I mean, everyday life happens. Life happens. So just pick something every week and just talk about it. Okay, there you go. A topic of the day. Okay, what else do I want to do? I said, okay, let me see. Pearl of Wisdom.
Yeah.
All right?
I wanted to do that just because people get so wrapped up in life. And I think sometimes they just don't think, they just do it because it's expected of them.
Right.
Or they're just going through the motions because they don't self-evaluate. And I think it's important to self-evaluate.
Sure.
In my younger years, I didn't, but now that
we
I've gotten
know
older,
we didn't in our younger years. No, we didn't know.
But in this stage of life, season of life, you just evaluate things and you think more carefully about the decisions you make.
Yeah, that's right. And I said one more thing. I said, okay, now what can I say? Okay, we have a little fun. I said I want to have a fun with the whole show, but I felt something else. What else? I said, I know, a stinker of the week. I said, let's have a stinker of the week. Yeah. That's for somebody who done somebody wrong and just whatever.
And speaking of that, who's the stinker of the week? That was a segue. You've got 3 minutes to let us know. Thank you, Bill.
Okay. Well, I decided to make my stinker of the week this comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, this comedian, Mike Ward. Because I looked at that fellow on TV today, and although he's 24 years old today, he was only 13 at the time. Right. And all this time in between, they was back and forth in court with his parents, because this young boy wanted to commit suicide. And when I looked at him today, I just shook my head and said, God, it's just such a sin the way human beings could treat one another. You have nothing else to laugh at. There's a whole lot of things in this world you can laugh at. You don't have to pick somebody who's a little deformed to pick on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things you could do. So I said, he's going to be my stinker of the week because he couldn't find nothing else better to do than to make this young boy feel like he wanted to kill himself. And then he had the nerve to tell the boy, why don't you go and die somewhere?
Was there a movie about that boy? There is a movie that was out within the past 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Of a child that was deformed. I'm going to have to do some research on that.
Do that.
And it was good. And I'm wondering if it was this person that he was making fun of. I can't think of the name of the movie right now. But I'm going to do some research on it. It was a popular movie.
Check it out, Janine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it kind of broke my heart, and I just said, well, this guy's going to be the stinker of the week because he was a real stinker. And he is not any comedian who's smart enough to pick something original. Sit down and think about what you're going to write, to make the people laugh. Picking on people is nothing original about that. Any one of us could do that. You understand?
Reap what you sow. And I really truly believe that.
Yeah. Well, you do.
Fun of,
and I'm sure if he had a son or daughter that was that way, he wouldn't want somebody to go tell them, why don't you just go and die?
Well, Nadine, it's that time.
It's time to go now.
It is.
We had fun.
It
was nice. We enjoyed being here with you guys. Yeah.
So, on that note, we will see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Nadine and
Janine.
Janine. Have a great week, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.